Does homeowners insurance cover flooding, or are you out of luck?
I got you. So flooding is distinct from a homeowner's policy generally. And what I mean by that is a homeowner's policy will not cover the flood aspect of a hurricane or of a storm. And it's specific to flooding. So we're talking in Florida, when we talk about flooding, we're 90% of the time, we're talking about storm surge. A hurricane comes in, the rivers rise, the oceans rise, and that causes residential areas to become underwater. That is not covered by your homeowner's insurance. You have to buy a separate policy for flooding. And a lot of times, if there's a combination of factors that damage your house, so let's say there's some wind damage, some flood damage, the insurance company is going to try and delineate out which is which, and they're only going to pay you for the stuff that's not flood damage. So, if you have a roof issue, they may say, well, the roof is damaged by the wind, but all the water that's in your house, that's part of the flood, and we're not paying for that.
So how is that? Yeah, well, that almost makes me wonder, like between flood damage and water damage, because, a flood is water.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Yeah, water damage is something different. That is from, let's say, a pipe that leaks. Or I got my hot water heater, blew in the night and flooded the first floor. That's water damage. That was an incident from the water system of the house, Flood damage is specifically, seawater, stream water, river water, whatever it is that came into your house from outside. It's not meant to be in your house.
Okay, so outside water as compared to inside water.
Right,
almost.
water that you meant to have inside the house, and water that you didn't mean to have inside the house.
So then how does somebody know if they need to go get flood insurance? Obviously, Florida probably need it, but how can someone look at their insurance and go, I don't have it, I should go get it?
Yeah, I would always say you need to know whether you have it. So make sure you talk to your insurance agent about your flood coverage. Now, most of the time, if you have a mortgage on your house, your mortgage company will require flood coverage if you're in a flood zone. We've probably heard the house is in a flood zone. It's not in a flood zone before when you're buying a house, and that's because if it's in a flood zone, mortgage company requires flood.
Okay.
Now, what we've been seeing is as storms have sort of gotten stronger over the last few years, as storm surges have gotten worse, is our storm surge maps, where we built those flood zones on, are a little bit outdated. And so now people that are not in flood zones are sometimes still getting flood damage. And so I always tell people, flood insurance is a few $100 a year, but it lets you sleep at night. And if you're questioning, should I have or should I not have flood insurance, I would buy it.